difficulties and challenges of being a rancher?
Well, my dad was telling a fellow one day of the good parts and the bad parts of ranching. The old guy says, boy, you must be a little crazy to be a rancher. My dad says, well, it helps.
So, but the difficulties I would think would be, and the challenges are putting up with weather like today. Yesterday was really cold. There was a really cold wind, and if you're out in it, you're breaking ice or chopping ice for the cows. You have to drive out. You got to make sure your trucks will start in order to get to the cows. Some days your cows are out, aren't where they're supposed to be. On say it's 10 below zero, snow on the ground, wind is blowing, and your cows are out. You have to get your horse and go out and endure.
Moving back.
And a lot of times you can ride, you're sitting, so you're doing a little, but you get off and lead your horse to warm up and jump up and down and do all sorts of things to get some energy flowing to keep on riding, keep on going. And then there's always the warm truck to come back to. So that's always incentive when you're out there. Just warm place to get in out of the cold.
How old were you when we first trailed that bunch out in no water?
I think I was 13 or 14.
Shannon was 13 or 14, and we got trailed out over the top, and it was in the winter, and it was cold. And I said, your hands cold? And she said, yes. And I said, well, get off and take your mittens off, put your hands right up underneath the saddle blankets. That'll warm your hands. So a little bit later, she caught up with me, and I said, well, how you doing? Well, pretty good. I said, do you like this stuff? Yeah, Dad, this is great. I said, oh, you gotta be crazy.
I'm crazy.
You gotta be crazy.
Part of the
She hung right in there with us, and we trailed all that day and gone out to a neighbor's camp, and we saw a light on over in a sheep wagon, and we kept waiting for Dan and Steve to come pick us up and give us a ride back to the ranch. They never showed up. So Billy Bull was there at the wagon, and he had a pickup chained up, and he gave us a ride. We left our horses there, and he gave us a ride back to camp. And sure as heck, Dan had backed up because he forgot a water tub, and he got the truck high-centered on the bank, and there he sat. And the tractor, it was so dang cold, the tractor would not start. So we pulled him out with this little old pickup that had a load of posts on it, and we tried to get this fella to stay overnight with us. But he went back, clear back to camp. That's a good 20 miles round trip or more. Yeah, so we appreciated that ride home, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And then we were glad the next day that we found that he'd made it back to camp too.
So, yeah, or else we would have had to stay overnight in the sheep wagon with sheep herder.
Yeah.
So